Imagine a normal night sky. Stars are visible. Clouds drift slowly. The world feels unchanged. And then you look up. The moon is gone. Not shattered. Not exploding. Not fading. Gone. At first, many people do not notice. Cities are already flooded with artificial light. But in darker regions, the absence is immediate and unsettling. The sky feels wrong, incomplete. A familiar presence that guided humanity for all of history has vanished without warning. Within hours, the consequences begin. The oceans react first. The moon was the primary force controlling Earth's tides. Without it, tides collapse into weak, irregular movements driven only by the sun. Coastal waters stagnate. Currents weaken. Shorelines change rapidly as the rhythmic rise and fall of the sea disappears. Marine ecosystems are thrown into chaos. Many species relied on lunar cycles for migration, feeding, and reproduction. Coral spawning fails. Fish breeding cycles break. Entire chains of life lose their timing and coordination. On land, the effects feel slower but no less severe. Earth's axial stability begins to weaken. The moon acted as a stabilizing force, keeping Earth's tilt relatively constant over millions of years. Without it, the planet's axis begins to wobble. Seasons become unpredictable. Climate patterns destabilize. Regions that once had mild weather experience extreme swings. Weather grows violent and erratic. Storm systems intensify. Rainfall patterns shift. Droughts appear where none existed before. Agriculture struggles as planting seasons lose reliability. Farmers can no longer trust historical cycles. Night itself changes. Without moonlight, nights become dramatically darker. No natural illumination softens the darkness anymore. Human activity after sunset declines sharply in many regions. Wildlife behavior changes instantly. Predators and prey alike lose visual cues they depended on for survival. Psychologically, humanity reacts strongly. The moon was not just a celestial object. It was a constant, a symbol, a silent companion in the sky. Its disappearance triggers unease, anxiety, and existential fear. Cultures across the world respond with shock. Ancient myths resurface. Religious interpretations spread rapidly. Scientists scramble for answers. Telescopes search empty space. Satellites detect nothing. There is no debris.
No gravetasce nel trace.
No warning. The moon has not moved, it has ceased to exist. Space agencies issue emergency briefings. Theoretical models fail. The event violates known physics. Panic grows as experts admit they do not understand what happened, or whether it could happen again. Satellite systems begin to suffer indirectly. Orbital calculations relied on the moon's gravitational influence. Long-term predictions fail. Space navigation becomes less reliable. Future missions are postponed indefinitely. The nights grow colder in some regions, hotter in others. Without the moon's moderating influence, temperature variations intensify. Energy grids strain as heating and cooling demands spike unpredictably. Animals behave strangely. Nocturnal species lose orientation. Migration patterns collapse. Reproductive cycles fail. Entire populations begin to decline quietly, without obvious cause. Human sleep patterns change as well. Circadian rhythms subtly shift. Insomnia increases. Mental health issues rise as the natural night cycle feels incomplete and disorienting. The oceans continue to degrade. Without strong tides, coastal waters fail to circulate properly. Pollution concentrates. Oxygen levels drop in shallow seas. Dead zones expand rapidly. Fisheries begin to collapse. Global food systems feel the pressure. Seafood supplies shrink. Agriculture becomes unstable. Prices rise. Governments begin emergency planning, not fully understanding the scale of what is unfolding. And beneath all of this lies a deeper realization. The moon was not just scenery. It was a hidden regulator of life on Earth. And now, humanity is living on a planet that has lost one of the forces that quietly kept it balanced. This is only the beginning of what happens when the moon disappears. As weeks turn into months, The absence of the moon begins to reshape Earth in ways that are no longer subtle or theoretical. What first appeared as environmental instability hardens into permanent planetary change. Earth's axial wobble increases. Without the moon's stabilizing gravitational pull, Earth's tilt economy weakens further. The angle of the planet shifts unpredictably over time. Seasons lose consistency. Some years bring extreme winters. Others barely bring winter at all. Climate zones begin to migrate. Regions near the equator experience unfamiliar cold spells, while temperate zones suffer relentless heat. Ice melts faster at the poles, not only because of rising temperatures, but because changing tilt exposes polar regions to more direct sunlight for longer periods. Sea levels rise unevenly. Coastlines retreat chaotically. Some areas flood repeatedly, while others dry out completely. Ocean circulation continues to collapse. The moon once drove powerful tidal mixing that circulated nutrients and oxygen through coastal waters. Without it, shallow seas stagnate. Oxygen depletion spreads. Massive dead zones form near coastlines, killing remaining marine life. Entire fisheries collapse permanently. Plankton populations, the base of the marine food web, fluctuate wildly. Some blooms explode, others crash. This instability reduces the ocean's ability to absorb carbon dioxide, accelerating climate change. The atmosphere warms faster as one of Earth's largest carbon sinks weakens. Human food systems strain under relentless pressure. Seafood is no longer reliable. Agriculture struggles to adapt to chaotic seasons and unpredictable rainfall. Crop failures become common. Governments implement rationing in vulnerable regions. Global food prices surge, triggering unrest in already fragile societies. Civilization becomes more local and defensive. Global trade slows as coastal infrastructure degrades and weather disrupts transport routes. Insurance markets collapse under constant environmental loss. Large coastal cities begin long-term evacuation planning. Millions are displaced inland as shorelines become unstable. Nighttime darkness continues to shape human behavior. With no moonlight, vast regions experience complete natural darkness every night. Energy consumption increases as artificial lighting becomes essential. Wildlife adapts poorly. Many species that relied on moonlit nights for navigation, hunting, or reproduction fail to adjust and decline toward extinction. Human psychology continues to erode. The moon once anchored humanity's sense of time. Months, calendars, rituals, and cultural rhythms were built around its cycle. Without it, time feels abstract and disconnected. Anxiety increases. Depression spreads. The sky itself feels broken. Culturally, humanity struggles to redefine meaning. Myths, religions, and traditions centered on the moon lose their reference point. New belief systems emerge, interpreting the disappearance as a warning, a punishment, or the sign of a larger cosmic instability. Public trust in science weakens as explanations remain incomplete. Space exploration enters a new era of uncertainty. Without the moon, Earth loses its nearest stepping stone into space. Future missions become riskier and more expensive. Tidal forces that once subtly influenced orbital mechanics are gone, complicating long-term space navigation. Humanity's expansion beyond Earth slows dramatically. Over decades, Earth settles into a harsher equilibrium. Life continues, but under greater stress. Biodiversity declines as ecosystems fail to adapt to rapid instability. Extreme weather becomes the norm rather than the exception. Civilization survives, but at higher cost and lower resilience. The most profound realization comes quietly. The moon was not just a satellite. It was a stabilizer, a clock, and a silent guardian. Without it, Earth is still habitable, but less forgiving, less predictable, and far more dangerous. Humanity adapts as it always does, but the sky above is forever changed. And every dark, moonless night becomes a reminder that even the most constant things in the universe can vanish without warning.